Disco X on the line, just as I suspected. No one really gets over me. I'm unaffected. Why would you try to ever put me second? You're just another groupie to me. No, I'm out here single, and I need some real. Now I got standards. If I fuck, I fail. I'm out here single. Tell me what's the deal. Now I got standards. If I fuck, I fail.
What's up, everyone? Welcome in. This is your afternoon Betspresso here on a hump day across BNN with PJ Glasser, Adam Kaufman, Boostman, as it has come to be the decree. We don't have V. That was way too much of an E sound. There were way too many rhyming infractions that I'm guilty of right there. PJ, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you?
Good to see you, Adam. I got to be honest. Today's been a little tough with no World Cup, huh? It's sad,
weird.
Little feel of that day after the Super Bowl or those 4 days after March Madness when we get the round of 64, round of 30, when you just have all those games or you go through a season and then it's like you got nothing. So it's been an unbelievable tournament. Quarterfinals start tomorrow. I know we're going to get into it, but yeah, I've seen a lot of that on the timeline today, and it's just like what I would give for an Algeria and Uzbekistan game at 3:00 today. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong. Just to have some skin in the game, just to have a little action on it. It doesn't need to be a big wager, but just a little something that you're rooting for to have in pocket. No doubt about it. I saw the stat earlier on, it's not a stat, it's a fact, but I guess it's a stat because it's the number. But I saw on Twitter, if I'm correct in remembering this, I think it was 27 straight days that we had World Cup games before today. So basically a month of soccer, of football every single day, PJ. And yeah, I'm like you. I'm feeling longing. I'm longing for a little bit of soccer to not only watch, but to bet on. I mean, yesterday was a ton of fun, most especially, obviously, the Argentina game, which was not fun at all for a long time, depending on how you invested in it, and then was insanely fun and historic over the course of the last 13 minutes of that one. And yeah, full day off. We got to wait till tomorrow to get the quarters started. France, Morocco should be a fun one. We'll talk about it, like you said, but it feels like just sort of this weird fever dream now of like, man, there were some days that we had games all day long, some overlapping. Yep. We had 5 matches in a given day. And now it's just one a day when we get it the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. We've been fortunate that we've had, soccer 27 straight days. The tournament's been as good as it has. And again, the best part about it is it's been helping us through the dog days of summer. I mean, we're just all ready for football season to roll around. We're ready to get into playoff baseball season into September and October when that's some of the best time of the year on the sports calendar. So for us to have this good of action in sports and for the World Cup to be this good has been great. I'm a big golf guy, so, that helps too. We got the Scottish Open tomorrow. We got the Open Championship the following week. But that, Adam, is always the toughest period for me in sports. When the Open Championship ends, when MLB All-Star break is over, it's kind of that 3-week buffer that you get where it's just, NFL preseason is there and you're just kind of waiting for the season to start. So, enjoy these last matches that we have of the World Cup. We get a major in golf. We got Wimbledon semifinals over the next few days. So we got a nice little sweet spot for maybe the next week or so. And then we're getting ready for football, baby.
Well, listen, football's right around the corner, and I am eager to us having 5-day a week, if not more, content here across the network talking about the NFL and just getting you ready for the season and team previews and, maybe fantasy advice in addition to betting. There's a whole bunch of great stuff in store for you, including, of course, Any Given Wager, which, as we know, we love around here, and that will come your way on Friday. We're just going once a week this month with Any Given Wager, but we've got some special fun things on the horizon as it surrounds that show. But you're right. This is, this is one of those weird, normally it would be, we'd be talking July, dog days, like you said, but it doesn't feel like it really applies this summer when World Cup eats up a month and a half of it and baseball becomes a little bit less in focus. And there is WNBA, there are golf majors, there is NASCAR, there is MMA, UFC. I mean, we got just the sports calendar doesn't stop, man. It's an absolute rush. We see you guys in the chat. Thanks for hanging out here with us. SPJ reminding you that NFL divisional previews are coming back on YouTube real soon as well. So that'll be fun. We thank you for watching along, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you are finding us. I am going to want your Scottish Open plays because, again, true to the name, there are boosts available that I am looking to invest, whether it's first round leader, which you nailed a couple weeks back. Maybe it was even last week. We've got finishing position boosts that are out there, make the cut boosts. And so going to need all your intel on that. Where I do want to start. So it's a big slate in baseball. It's one game going on right now. And then everything else is coming up in about an hour and a half or later. And we'll give you any of our favorite plays, system plays, all that good stuff. I'm a little upset with myself because there are, depending on the book that you're on, multiple parlay boosts that are available. And I always like to put some funny money on parlays and just, winging a prayer, hoping a dream, all that good stuff. And, overall I'm up. So that's good. Knock on wood, that continues. But I spent hours today, PJ, hours just hemming and hawing internally about whether or not to include the Blue Jays and Giants game because I really liked Toronto in this game. I really liked Toronto. I wasn't going to invest in a straight. I didn't like them enough to a straight, but just a small little parlay, something that's going to be 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, whatever it is. Do I want to throw the Blue Jays in there to kick off the day? And two things kind of went head to head internally. One was like, I'm just going to be really pissed if the Blue Jays lose before the rest of the slate even begins, and then the parlay dies before anything else starts. That will just be annoying. But also, as inconsistent as he has been, Logan Webb, in my heart of hearts, is still a good pitcher. So as bad as San Francisco is, no doubt about that, that's a bad team. Blue Jays are a bit inconsistent as well. Do I necessarily think this is going to be a layup win? Dylan Cease is a little up and down, even though I think he's better than Webb, and he's obviously had a good year. So I didn't pull the trigger. And naturally, the Blue Jays score 5 in the first inning, right out of the chute before the Giants even come to bat. And they continue to lead 5-0 at the end of 5 innings. Cease is absolutely dealing. Webb got it under control. For the most part, really, he wasn't bad. It was mostly one bad pitch. It was a grand slam allowed to Okamoto. But, I hope it's not an indicator of what's to come tonight with me sitting here and kicking myself for not including the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's brutal, especially when they score 5 in the first. It's not, it's just like right off the jump. You're going back and forth on whether to bet a game. And it's like, I could have bet it and I would have been out to a 5-0 start. Right. That is rough. You mentioned Cease. He's got a no-hitter going right now, Adam. So
are we allowed to say that?
I think so. I was going back and forth. I feel like perfect game you can't say, but I think no hitter is allowed. Is that cool? Can you say no?
Maybe you don't say no. I mean, we've already done it, right? But maybe you don't say no hitter. Yeah. Maybe it's like he hasn't allowed a hit yet, right? Same thing, but not the same thing. Is it just stringing those two words together that you can't do? I don't know. Also, I'm an adult and I don't need to fall into the trap of letting superstition dictate my life. Plus, I'm not invested in it, and I'm not a Blue Jays fan, so I don't really care if he throws the no-hitter anyway. So good on him. Best of luck to you, pal.
Yeah, the Giants, nobody has swung the bat in gotten on base, however you want to get technical with it. But yeah, as they head to the bottom of the sixth, that possibly could be something to keep an eye on as Cease, like you said.
It will be hilarious if the Giants lead off the inning with a base hit, though.
That would be. That really would be. And you know what? I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them. That'd be pretty great. But yeah, I mean, we got a good slate today. A bunch of solid series. This Yankees-Rays series is obviously a massive one. We knew that coming into this 4-game set with the way that Tampa's been playing. They're going on another one of their streaks again where they're winning a lot of games. The Yankees have their typical June swoon. The injuries are catching up with them. And now they're going to a place in Tropicana Field where historically they have really struggled. It was big for them to win that first game of the series on Monday. I came on the show yesterday with SPJ and V. We talked about liking Tampa. They bounced back yesterday. Yep. I'm going back and forth, though, on the game today, Adam. First of all, I got a great pitching matchup. I mean, you got Garrett Cole and Shane McClanahan. So that's good stuff with both of those two guys.
Maybe just start it with a Nerfy. Maybe just do that.
That honestly could be the way to go. Yeah, because Cole's been good since coming back, from injury. He's been pretty solid throughout his career. He's been good against Tampa. He's been good in the Trop. McClanahan actually hasn't been all that great against the Yankees. But as you know, everything has a price, and Yankees money has really been coming in all day. And we're starting to get the point now where Tampa's dropping to a number where they're getting into kind of the bettable range. I'm starting to see some minus 118s pop up. If we happen to drop down to minus 115, I think that's going to be a bet for me on Tampa Bay. So I'm keeping an eye on that one. But I think that's definitely the game I'm most looking forward to today with those two teams and the two pitchers we have on the mound.
So that game, other than, maybe I'll fool around and throw a little something on 6 for 6 out for out and see if I can cash that no-run first inning just for funsies. But in terms of a side, I don't really have a good feel for that game at all. One, as you noted, New York just playing terribly over the last 2-3 weeks. And then the Rays, I like McClanahan. So it's, if I'm investing in Tampa, which is the only way I would go, by the way, is on Tampa. And if I were doing that, it's trusting in the starting pitcher. And so maybe it's a first 5 play, but it's probably more likely a stay away spot for me. Today's a weird, like you said, it's a good slate. Maybe it is. It's a weird slate for me because typically, independent of system plays, I will have 3 or 4 plays that I at least believe in, have some conviction behind as I read through the slate at the start of the day and then, make my own opinions and then just kind of look around the industry a little bit, some people that I trust, and see if there's any confirmation bias out there. And right now, there are only 2 spots that I feel like there are like a half dozen. There's 7 or 8 spots that are in the, I could talk myself into that category. There are really only 2 spots that I really genuinely like. And what scares me about them is neither one is a team that I enjoy investing in. Those 2 spots, and I'll give you the starting matchups here. And sure enough, Giants leadoff man aboard. Let me see if it was a hit.
Please be a hit. Please be a hit.
I think it was a walk.
Oh,
sad. Okay. Sad. We were so close.
That's unfortunate.
It could still happen for us, though.
It still could. I apologize to anybody who bet on Dylan Cease today because things might go south in a hurry.
So the 2 spots are the Reds at home against the Phillies. The Reds are favorites, ballpark minus 140. Burns is on the hill. He's been awesome. 10-1, 2.40 ERA. The Phillies, a superior team and certainly a superior lineup, a little inconsistent. And I don't know anything about this Rangel guy who is on the mound for them. So it's really, for me, leaning into the starting matchup. Maybe it's a first 5 play on Cincinnati. And the other one that I like a little bit less, but it still makes that list, the Tigers at home against the Athletics. Now, I wouldn't even consider this game if it were out in Sacramento because I know that ballpark and I know those A's bats. But Springs sucks and has an ERA of right around 6. And Melton, who is a much smaller sample size, is still 4-1 with an ERA of 2, and Detroit is at home. Again, right around a -140 favorite. So Detroit and Cincinnati are they're not good teams. They're both well below 500. They're not teams that I am comfortable investing in. And yet, if I'm looking at this board and saying, all right, who jumps out at me right now? It's these two. Maybe it's first 5 plays leaning into. Honestly, it's twofold, actually, as I think about it. As I talk this out for you, PJ, it's leaning into the starting pitchers because I like Burns, I like Melton, but it's also the Phillies and A's bats scare me. So it's minimizing their opportunities by taking half the game away. Mm-hmm. So I might have a parlay today that is a Cincy first 5, Tigers first 5, and then whatever that third leg is, wishing it was Toronto right now, that's for damn sure. But whatever the third leg is, maybe it's, I don't know. We can talk through some of the other spots that I could, again, talk myself into. But how do you feel about these two teams, these two spots on this slate where you don't have, other than a guy like Garrett Cole reputationally, you don't have, like, this is not an ace day. This is not, these great stud pitchers across the bigs day.
Right. Did you parlay those two together?
Not yet. Not yet, but thinking about it.
Yeah, the Tigers and A's game is an interesting one. I mean, I like your handicap. I feel like I've been so wrong on Detroit though most of the year, Adam, to be honest with you. So they've kind of become one of those teams for me where I don't like getting involved with them. And then the A's are a funny team. I feel like I like betting their overs actually on the road a little bit because there's so much talk about what an advantage it is to hit in Sacramento. Their pitching staff isn't great. But when they go on the road, the pitching staff still isn't all that good, and they still do have a good offense that produces. So look at that total at 9. If I were to get involved in that game in any way, that would probably be the game that I look at, or that would be the bet that I look at, would be the over 9. Then the Cincy game, I mean, you're right. Burns is a stud. He's fantastic. If anything, I'd probably just do props with him, strikeout props, something like that, outs recorded, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood. He's usually one of those guys when he takes the mound. I like looking at that angle. So that's how I'd probably get involved in those games, would be the over in A's Tigers, and then maybe Chase Burns props for the Reds and Phillies game. The game that I wrote about on Betting News today, that I have a bet on that I like, is the under in Red Sox and White Sox.
Interesting.
With Jake Bennett and Davis Martin. As you know, as a Red Sox fan, Jake Bennett's been good for you guys. I mean, he's been pitching well. He's got about 40 innings so far. He missed about a month. He came back. He's made about 5 starts since late May, and he's pitching good. He's got a 3.10 ERA. He's been good in his last couple starts. And then the White Sox on the other side, Davis Martin, I think, has been their best pitcher this season. And Adam, he's been great at home. He only has a .88 ERA at home this season at Rate Field. So he's been really good at home. So you have Jake Bennett on one side for Boston, where I don't think maybe the scouting reports are out yet. Maybe teams have his number yet. And then you have Davis Martin for the White Sox, who's just been spectacular at home this season. I think 8 is a little too high, so I did like the under in that White Sox and Red Sox game. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it is a good slate like I talked about. I'm leaning towards Tampa if the number continues to go down. I made the play on the under in White Sox, Red Sox. You make some good cases in the Tigers game and the Reds game. But yeah, it is a little tricky of a slate. And you know what? There are going to be nights like that in baseball, as you know. I mean, here we are. We're like almost 100 games in, 90 games in, and these lines are starting to get pretty damn sharp with a lot of these teams.
Do you have favorite money line spots today, aside from, again, maybe going with the Rays? What I'm saying is, if you're parlaying teams together, who you invested in? I'm looking for guidance here, PJ.
You know what? I kind of like a couple of dogs today. Okay. I think the Cubs are interesting against the Orioles, and I think the Marlins are interesting against the Mariners. And the reason being, why in what world should the Orioles be favored over the Cubs? And why do we continue to fade the Marlins? I mean, Marlins are the hottest team in baseball. They won a game in extra innings last night. I talked about the Marlins on the show yesterday. Seattle had to travel to Miami. They had an off day to kind of get acclimated, but that was a tough spot for them going up against Max Meyer. I'd probably come right back with the Marlins today at plus money, going up against George Kirby. And then the Orioles against the Cubs. Look, I'm an O's fan. They've had a lot of games like this where the line maybe looks a little fishy. They're favored against a team that's better than they are. Dean Kramer's been okay this season, but this team is just they're a mess right now. So, usually when you're money line parlaying teams together, obviously you like to look for some favorites, but to be honest with you, kind of the games that jumped out at me were some dogs with the Marlins and the Cubs.
That Red Sox-White Sox game, and that's, the White Sox aren't an overwhelming dog. It's not too far off at pick'em, but what's your read on that game in terms of who ultimately wins it? I know you gave out a play on the total, but who do you think comes out of it?
Yeah, I do like the White Sox because, as I mentioned, Martin's got a .88 ERA at home this season. He's also 5-0, so he's been. Again, it's a little interesting that the line is as short as it is with the White Sox, about like minus 115, minus 120. But Bennett's pitched good for the Red Sox, and they're playing a lot better baseball right now. So I understand why people like the Red Sox, but look, the White Sox are for real, folks. I think you got to throw out all these priors and all these preseason, metrics, and maybe we thought they were still 2 years away. This team absolutely can win the Central. They can absolutely make the playoffs. Martin has pitched nearly 100 innings. We have a big enough sample size to realize he's been really good this season. And I think he's going to pitch well again tonight, and I would lean towards Chicago.
To that end, any conclusions you feel like you're coming to as we come up on the MLB All-Star break? Not too far away, obviously, a chance for everyone to catch their collective breath, but also an opportunity for bettors to explore the futures market.
It is. I think the NL wild card is so fascinating. Everybody's talking about the American League wild card because you have all these teams below 500 and somebody out of this group is going to have to make the postseason. I think the NL wild card, though, Adam, is so good because all of these teams that are in the mix, nobody thought they would be in this situation. Like the Marlins were an okay team last year. They played better than expected. There were people that thought maybe they could build on that momentum and kind of be where they are this season. But the Cardinals, nobody had them being this good. The Nationals, nobody had being this good. The Pirates, nobody thought would be 47-45. So I think the National League wild card is very interesting. Because again, it's like we keep waiting for these teams to go on a rut, like a 2-week dry spell where they go 2-10 and they get themselves out of the picture. And that hasn't quite happened yet. I know the Cardinals have lost 4 in a row and have come to the pack a little bit, but I do like this Marlins team. I think they're going to end up making the playoffs. And I don't think it's crazy to think that maybe they could give the Braves a run for their money in that division. I know we're kind of all looking at the Phillies as probably the best challenger to Atlanta. Miami's only 3 games back. As you and I know, they're just going to continue to fly under the radar. They're not going to be on national TV. Nobody's going to talk about them, and they're just going to continue to win games. So I think the Marlins would be the team that I would watch out for, not only to make the playoffs, but potentially win that NL East.
Dylan Cease does have a no-hitter through 6, so we did not jinx him for an inning. I think the jinx has been removed at this point. He's survived an inning after we started talking him up, and we'll see what he can do here. I didn't look at actually the pitch count. I'm curious what the pitch count is just to see, because you know how it is. They don't leave guys in anymore. Oh, that's Logan Webb. Never mind. Webb is up over 100, but he's still pitching. Cease, 88. So hard to imagine Dylan Cease goes more than one more inning. So even if he's got a no-hitter going through 7, they'll pull him, which I absolutely hate about today's baseball. And we saw a perfect game taken away the other night because the dude was pulled.
Man, I remember the days, and this was a while ago. You remember when Edwin Jackson threw like 149 pitches to get like a no-hitter or something like that? He was on like his 78th team or whatever it was. I don't even remember. I think he was pitching for Arizona or somebody, but he threw like 149 pitches. I can't remember if it was to record the shutout or if it was a no-hitter. It was something where they let him throw all those pitches. And I think about that every now and again. And I'm like, there are some teams that won't even let a guy throw 149 pitches over a 2-game span, let alone one game. So you're right. It's just crazy.
Have you had any investment in this Dodgers Rockies series? Because I do want to move on to some other things, but I first have to at least acknowledge I can't imagine how much money the books are making off of people just blindly betting on the Dodgers, money line parlays, run line with LA, simply because, hey, the Dodgers, they're at home, the Rockies are the Rockies. Yeah, they're a little frisky, they're a little pesky, but they are certainly inferior. And plus the pitching matchups that have favored LA in recent games in this series as well. I'll tell you, a couple of nights ago, I was on the Dodgers run line in that game. They were up 6-3 going into the 9th inning. Not only did they blow the run line, they blow the game. They lose outright. It was annoying. Last night, I came very close to going back to LA again on the run line because the money line price was like minus 250. I didn't do it. Really happy I didn't do it. Didn't even include him in a parlay. Well, I did include him in a parlay, but the parlay had died before that, so it didn't matter. But didn't go back in, didn't reinvest in LA as much as I genuinely liked that spot. I liked it a lot. I was like, after last night's embarrassment, the run line tonight, that's going to be free money, of course. 8th inning, they blow it again. And not only blow the multiple run lead, I think it was 3-1 this time, they lose outright. They fall 4-3. And so tonight, I imagine, and I'm not going anywhere near it, parlay or anything. I'm just not touching this game. Dodgers should beat them, 15-2, but I'm not going to do it. But I wonder how many people are just going back to the well chasing versus the amount of money, if you were so bold as to just blindly bet the Rockies because of the ridiculous plus money price you've been getting in this series, what you'd be making over the last couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, with games like this, and we've been doing this a while now with the Dodgers when they've been going up against like the Rockies or any of the bad teams in Major League Baseball, and they're like minus 350 on the money line, minus 400, whatever it may be. To be honest with you, Adam, I normally never touch them. If anything, I'm always looking towards the dog, whether that be run line or money line for the things that you were saying. Because, I mean, it's 101.62, right? Like, I can't get on board with laying a money line with the Dodgers at that price, even if just it's in a parlay to throw in there, because it's one game. Do they win? Probably. But could they lose? Absolutely. So no, I've not been betting that series, and I usually stay away from any big prices like that in any kind of MLB game.
Halfway home on this show, and we appreciate everyone hanging out. I know it sounded a lot like Off the Bump so far, but we're going to get off of baseball right now. That show is in hiatus, if anybody has been looking for it, by the way, taking a little bit of a break. But it is your Hump Day Betspresso. We got Jackson behind the scenes here. Beast McNeese, SPJ, is off living his life. We appreciate him hanging out at the start of the show. We will bring in a game a little bit later. Again, any WNBA plays. I don't really have any, but if you do, by all means, PJ. And then beyond that, we will mix in some Scottish Open plays because I am eager to hear what PJ has to say. But let's talk a little soccer. Not so much recapping yesterday, but looking ahead now to the quarterfinals, where we have got some great matchups in store. I feel like we have... It's hard, right? I would like to say there's an element of consensus, an element of clarity, like we believe the royal the betting public, and I think just soccer watchers. I don't know about you, but I think most people believe, Argentina's going to advance, Spain's going to advance, France going to advance. I think the only real mystery matchup in the eyes of most people is Norway-England. That's the one that it's like, is it Holland? Is it Kane? Who's going to win? Sure, England is better, but Norway has this kind of Cinderella story going on right now, a 19th ranked country in the FIFA groupings, and yet sitting here still as part of your Elite Eight, if you will. But we have France-Morocco tomorrow, and France is, again, favored, expected to win, has been attacking at with great success, it's sort of offense first defense in many ways in this one. France, we saw 1-0 against Paraguay last time out, but prior to that, 3-4 goals every single game throughout this tournament. Whereas Morocco on the other side has only allowed multiple goals once, has only allowed, I think it's 4 goals across 5 games in this tournament. And so this is a team that may just be content to kind of park the bus and make France work for it a little bit. How do you expect this thing is going to play out? And where would you invest if you haven't already?
Yeah, I think France wins. I mean, for them to qualify is like minus 400. I don't want to bet all that for the next round. Minus
Sure.
375, so it's dropped a little bit. Morocco's a good team, as we all know. They made it to the semis in the World Cup 4 years ago. They lost to this France team. I'm sure they're looking forward to playing them again. I think, if anything, France has been a touch sluggish a little bit in these knockout round games. Right? Took them a little bit to get going against Paraguay. They didn't score in the first 40 minutes. Against Sweden, I believe, was their round of 32 game. And obviously Morocco knows they can't score with France. I mean, they want this to be a low scoring game and probably try to win it in penalties. So maybe just take a shot at like a plus money, 0-0 first half, like neither team to score a goal, possibly, I think could be a way to go about it. Or maybe a correct score. Like I could see France winning this game like 2-1, which is plus 700. Sure. So I'll probably take a plus money shot with some kind of angle in this game. I do expect France to advance, though. It's kind of a brutal matchup for Morocco because I think they could pull an upset in this round against a couple other teams that are left. But against France, I think it's going to be too much. I have a theory, Adam, that I want to run by you. All right. And I want to see if you agree with this and if you find this interesting. At this point, do you feel like if we get France and Spain in the semis, would you say that most people would consider that the de facto championship? Like the winner, if they match up, the winner of that game, people would probably like to win the title. Do you think that's fair?
I think a lot of people may say that, based on odds, based on rankings, based on just reputation of the countries, all of that. I think, though, and look, I am a soccer novice when it comes to this stuff. So take what I am saying with a grain of salt. I'm not BTP. I'm not, Shags. Like if these guys were to say the same thing, it would mean more coming out of their mouths. But I feel like the path to a championship really favors Argentina right now.
For sure.
Again, I say it shouldn't be too much trouble in this next test, but then again, I didn't think yesterday was going to be any issue at all against Egypt, and it took, the arguably the greatest World Cup comeback we've ever seen for Argentina to win that game. And so nothing happens lightly, nothing is easy. Messi is capable of missing a PK, putting a free kick off the post, all this stuff, getting off to these slow starts. But Argentina, assuming it does do what it's supposed to do here in the quarters, and then you've got England or Norway on the other side. England, I think, has generally gotten off to a lot of slow starts, is kind of underwhelmed, quite frankly, so far in this tournament, despite its success. Norway is a one-man show, so if Holland is taken out by England, or if you can somehow neutralize him if you're Argentina, Argentina is ready to punch its ticket right there into the championship round, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't think a team led by Messi, if all of this comes to fruition, is a pushover by any stretch against, a Spain or, as you said, a France. But again, I am your typical American, right? Like I'm jumping in at the start of the World Cup and forming opinions from there, like so many other talking heads across the country. I'm not someone who's paying attention to all the friendlies and all the international run-ups and how these guys are doing with their Champions League or Premier League or whatever other league plays. I'm not, I'm jumping in and just having fun like everybody else. But from what I have seen with my eyes throughout this tournament, that's what it feels like, PJ. So I don't, even though, what you're talking about was in many ways the same way that all of us talked about, like, well, it's San Antonio, Oklahoma City. This is the de facto NBA Finals because the East sure as hell can't challenge either of these teams. Well, maybe Argentina, and not a great comparison because Argentina is the defending World Cup champion. But in this particular conversation we're having, maybe Argentina's the Knicks, right? Like maybe Argentina's the team that's getting overlooked, that's just sort of waiting on the other side.
Could be England, potentially. Could be the version of the Knicks, maybe, going up against these like that. Yeah, England could be the Knicks. I'm glad you brought up the Spurs and OKC, though, because I do feel like France and Spain is the de facto championship. I think they're going to meet up in the semis. I think the winner of that game is going to end up winning the title. But if you think back to sports this year, right, the calendar sports year, we've kind of had 3 semifinal matchups where people have felt like that matchup was essentially the championship. You had the NFC title game between the Rams and the Seahawks, where a lot of people felt like that game, that team was going to win the Super Bowl. And a lot of people, I would say, more people like the Rams going into that game, and the Seahawks ended up winning. Then in the Final Four, you had Arizona and Michigan match up. A lot of people felt like winner of that game was going to win it all. Mm-hmm. More people, I think, liked Arizona. Michigan ended up winning that game. And then, as you were just speaking to with OKC and San Antonio, when they matched up in the Western Conference Final, more people liked OKC, and San Antonio ended up winning that series. I think it's been really interesting how when we've had these kinds of matchups so far this year, probably the more popular team has ended up losing that game. And I think if France and Spain end up meeting, I think France is going to be the more popular side. They're going to be favored to win. They've looked better up to this point. But there's just a part of me that kind of thinks Spain might beat them, because even though they haven't looked as good, they haven't conceded a goal yet this tournament. And when you get in a knockout round and you got to play an ugly type game like that, I think I'd rather have Spain in a game like that than France. France's top level talent. I mean, the trio of Mbappe, Olise, and Dembele is just silly, right? Like nobody else has that. But again, Spain, they know their identity. Nobody's been able to score on them. So I think it's going to be interesting because I have heard that NBA parallel. Well, people feel like France is the Thunder, Spain is the Spurs, and then maybe England or Argentina is the Knicks. Maybe they end up winning it. I really do think the winner of France and Spain, though, ends up winning the championship. And just judging by kind of how those types of games have gone, if you look across the sports landscape this year, the less popular team has actually ended up winning that game and has gone on to win. So unless it was the Spurs who lost to the Knicks. So I kind of like Spain a little bit moving forward. I love them against Belgium. That's probably my favorite quarterfinal bet would be them in regulation at -160. We all saw what Belgium did to the U.S. They smoked them from start to finish. I think that was just more about the U.S., though, not being ready for the moment. Belgium has not looked good for a majority of this tournament. And again, Spain has not given up a goal. I think Belgium, it's going to be tough for them to score on Spain. And I think Spain's going to be able to exploit their defense a little bit. So that'd probably be my favorite bet, Adam, honestly, of the quarters would be Spain in regulation -160.
In the same way that, everyone would be saying the answer to this question is Ronaldo if Portugal were still alive. Who do you think needs it? Who's whether it's the team or the individual player, who needs it of these final?
England.
We know it's not Argentina, obviously.
It's England. It's not even close. Oh, it's definitely England. It's definitely England. I mean, they haven't won since the 60s, I believe. And they sing their song, It's Coming Home. And they've been waiting for it for a long time. And after that Mexico win, I think they feel like that there might be something special brewing with that team. And with the 1-2 punch they have with Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, they're going to be a tough out. But you're right, this Norway game is not going to be easy. And it would be so England for them to win a match like they did against Mexico, turn right around as a favorite, and just lay an egg against Norway and end up losing. So I can't wait for that game. My bet there would probably be a draw at +260. I could see that one going to extra time, maybe possibly even penalties as well. So I think that one's going to be a really close one. I don't want to try and pick a side in that game. I could see it going either way, but of all the 4 games that I would feel maybe best about going to extra time, I think Norway and England would probably be my top choice.
Yeah, and I think most people do feel that way. Again, I just reading some articles. It's very divided in terms of who is going to win that match. There's no doubt about it. Stifler in the chat says England fans singing Wonderwall is what we need. How have you felt about the various anthems that countries have had? Like obviously for Team USA, John Denver, Country Roads, that kind of thing. But yeah, Wonderwall and all that. How has that struck you?
Oh, I love it, man.
I mean, even Sweet Caroline has
Yes.
infiltrated the soccer world.
I love it. It's been it's awesome. It's chills to see, like it's great seeing that stuff. It's cool too because the players, like, they'll sing it back to their fans,
Yeah.
right? They'll go over to the section and they'll stand arm in arm and they'll sing it. It's kind of like in college football when a team wins a game and then they go over to the student section and sing the fight song. But like times 10. So it's very cool. And yeah, man, England winning the World Cup, I think would be that'd be crazy. That'd be pretty cool.
Are you already a reasonable soccer fan, or are you more someone like most of us that parachute in around the World Cup or major events?
Yeah, I am very much a parachuter. I do not watch any MLS. I don't watch Premier League. I don't even watch Champions League. I don't watch any of the, big tournaments. I just Euros. I watch a decent amount, but this World Cup has been so good, Adam. I've been locked in. So I won't pretend to know these teams as well as these people that follow soccer closely. But like, everybody else, I've been watching these games. I form opinions and I'm just kind of going with what I see. So
yeah, I mean, really, the root of my question is that has this World Cup changed you? Will you become more of a soccer fan now?
I won't because it's just it's too much of a commitment. I feel like, like I love college sports. So college football into college basketball season, I'm watching a lot of that on Saturdays. Then I got to rest up. I got to get ready for the NFL when so many people are watching those games before the NFL kicks off. I can't do that. So you got to really commit to it. And I just know I'm not going to be able to commit.
No, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely get that. I'm the same. I don't think, I mean, other than my kids who I've watched play thousands of hours of soccer, and I'm not saying that's the same thing. In terms of soccer on television, professional soccer, I have not watched this much soccer over the last month in my entire life combined. I have been locked in on this tournament.
Me too. I completely agree. I've been watching a lot. I'm going to miss it when it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't lie to you. I will not be watching, when they go back to their club teams and watching all their games. That will not happen.
I mean, I do watch Welcome to Wrexham. Does that count? Probably not.
Ted Lasso, does that count?
Yeah, Ted Lasso. Yeah, of course.
That's
coming back next month.
Yes, it is.
That's going to be the women's side now.
Mm-hmm.
Get excited, everybody. All right, Scottish Open. And I do want to make sure we'll get into a game I know that Beast has been preparing for us as well. But Scottish Open plays. So like I said, there are boosts available, folks. Finishing positions. You've got make, miss, cut, first round leader. Obviously, everyone likes to invest in their outrights. So tell me, what are you looking at? I'm gonna make some notes as you declare where I should be playing.
All right, so smaller card for me this week with the Open Championship on deck next week. What's interesting about this tournament is that some of the live guys are actually playing this week in the Scottish Open. So Rahm's teeing it up, Hatton's teeing it up. Some of the lesser name live guys will be in the field as well. And then you'll have your big guns from the tour, Scotty, Rory, Fitzpatrick, Xander, Fleetwood. So you do have a good field. Obviously, we only play 2 major events in Europe. So these guys go over, they kind of get acclimated to the links golf, the weather, the wind, the time change, all those sorts of things. And then they make sure they're prepared and ready to go for next week for the final major of the year. So that's why this week can be a little funny, Adam, and I don't like to go crazy, and I like to save some of my units for next week when everybody will be watching. But I will say they've played at this course, I believe, the last 4 or 5 years. And what stood out is that really all of the winners have been bombers off the tee. So Goddard won here last year. He can smash it. Rory, we know, can bomb it. He's won here in the past. Xander has won here in the past. Bobby Mack, who is a Scottish lad, he is also won here as well. So length definitely plays a factor at this course. And I would definitely target guys this week that can bomb it off the tee, which is not necessarily always the case when we go to Europe, because as you know, the wind, the pot bunkers, the rollout that you get in the fairways, like sometimes it's not the best to be the longest hitter, but at this course, it's shown year after year, like that is an advantage. So 2 guys that I'm looking at this week, U.S. Open winner, Wyndham Clark, won the U.S. Open at Shinnecock, followed that up the next week at the Travelers, played very well. And again, he's a super long hitter. He isn't really too experienced in links golf over in Europe, but he has played well at this course in the past with a couple of top 15 finishes. So I would look at him. He's plus 110 to finish in the top 20 this week. And he's 28-1, 30-1 to win. So Wyndham is one of the guys that I would look at. And then Kurt Kitayama would be another guy that I like at 50-1. I think he's a good first round leader bet for you as well. Kitayama has played well in kind of these major events before with good fields. He won the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill a couple years back. Another guy, long off the tee, good iron player, good putter. And he's had some good history here as well. So those were the two names that jumped out at me with course fit and price range that I'll take a shot with this week, Wyndham Clark and Kurt Kitayama.
So I'll just mention we discussed some of this on No Plays Off yesterday. I guess it was yesterday. And Sia and Thor rocking the same cards, more or less. And as far as their outrights go, short cards, similar to you, kind of saving units for next week and just treading carefully. But both on Rory McIlroy, both on Matt Fitzpatrick in the without Scotty Scheffler market.
Okay.
They also mentioned a liking to Wyndham Clark, like you, and Goddard, who you brought up as well. And then Alex Fitzpatrick is a guy that is, I don't know how heavily, if at all, they'll be investing, but he's on their radar, just as another guy that was mentioned. I don't know how you feel about first round leader plays. Some of the guys that they had mentioned were Goddard, Hatton, Penge, and Rayton. Now, I don't know all of these guys because, again, not the huge golf guy here, but figured I'd mention that anyway.
I like that. I told you I'd probably take a piece of Kitayama, first round leader. I think he could be a decent look. I like the Alex Fitzpatrick call. He's actually played really well this summer. He got his PGA Tour card because New Orleans, when they play at that course, you play as a pair. So him and his brother, Alex and Matt, they team up every year, and they won the event. So Alex got an exemption, and he got his tour card. And ever since he's gotten that, he's been playing like really good golf. He's still kind of flying under the radar. And obviously being a guy from, England, this neck of the woods, he's played in these conditions plenty. I think that's a good look. Fitzpatrick's a nice call. I like that. Good first round leader. And I think I'll add him to my card as well for top 20.
So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Beast. What do you have for us for a game? And I know we're going to need to build out a parlay before we're out of here as well.
Yeah, so this is a PJ's game, so let's check it out.
Oh, okay.
Stadium Sleuth. So we got to guess which stadium we are looking at.
Yep. So you get, I believe, so there's 3 questions. You get a total of 600 points. And as you can see, if you lose clues, it docks you points. If you don't give them the stadium name, it docks you points. So this is PNC Park in Pittsburgh. If you were to just say Pirates, you wouldn't get the full points. But if you say PNC Park, then you would end up getting the full points. So we feel good about that, Adam. That looks like PNC to me.
Yeah, I had to make the screen bigger on my end. But yes, PNC Park, I'm good with.
All right, let's go.
As big as it'll let me go.
There we go. All right, so 100 for the first round, and then I think it's 200 and then 300 for the third
Okay,
round.
so there's only 3?
Only 3. Yep. So nice and quick game.
This is a daily thing that you do? Have you swept the board?
I have. Yeah, but some of these are tricky. it'll be like low-level college basketball. So obviously here we got college football. That looks like Virginia Tech to me.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about that, which is Lane Stadium. Adam, I don't know.
I'm comfortable with that. I've been there. I've been there, but it was like 25 years ago.
Yeah, I'm good with that. It looks like Virginia on the back, so
I think it's Lane. Yeah.
Right, that's going to be an impressive pull.
Oh
no! Right league, wrong state.
Okay, so we're in the Big 12. No,
right.
They play in the ACC. They play in the ACC.
Yeah. Well, right league, I think it means like college football. Like you're in the right sport. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm trying to picture which stadiums.
You know what?
Have the wide open corner.
I'm wondering if that's like Virginia's lettering in the end zone almost.
Well, it's
but I don't.
wrong
Well,
state, right?
it said wrong state though.
That's true. That's true.
Is this Temple, which is?
I don't think it's Temple because they play at the Eagles Stadium. They play at Lincoln Financial.
Okay.
Man, I should
Who's
know this.
maroon?
Oh, you know what? This might be. I wonder if this is Mississippi State.
I'm willing to try anything.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to be good at this game.
I don't
Any
know
idea?
if it is. Mississippi State is
Especially when it comes to identifying
Davis.
college venues.
Mississippi State is Davis Wade, Wallace Wade, maybe Wallace Wade Stadium, I think.
Why isn't the chat weighing in on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, help us out.
Wallace Wade, Davis Wade, maybe.
Davis Wade. There you go. I think. I don't know if that's right, but let's try it.
Take a stab.
Wrong state again. So we're not Mississippi.
Man, what is that stadium?
Can this be old stadiums?
Yeah,
No.
I think it can be. Mhm.
I don't even think I'm gonna have a good guess, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Do we take the hit on and take the state? Or
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the state.
Okay. Texas. Oh, it's Texas State, isn't it?
It could be
They're maroon.
Texas State.
I have no idea what their place
Is
is.
it? It's
called.
not A&M, is it?
No, A&M's so
No,
much bigger.
way
And it's
bigger.
close.
Yeah, it's not Texas. It's not Texas Tech. Yeah, why not? Try Texas State. It was Texas. Oh, from the other side. So this was before they did the big renovation.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Tricky
I wasn't
one.
going to come up with that.
Tricky one.
All right, let's do this.
Ooh.
Well, it's. I want to say it's football, and in like a dome.
Yeah.
Is it
think
Indianapolis?
I think it actually might be basketball.
Yeah. Do you see
You
this
think?
like right here?
Yeah.
Looks like an old dude from like the colony days.
I mean,
Maybe-
it could be college basketball.
No, I think it's NBA.
You think it's NBA?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
What
thinking
are
Denver.
our clue
Ball-
options that we
Ball
listed?
Arena is what what came to mind for me.
I'm down to shoot.
I don't know if that's right though.
Yeah, that's the Nuggets.
Let's see.
Oh, wrong league, wrong state.
All right, so that means
So maybe
not
it's NFL?
NBA.
Yeah, no NBA and not in Colorado.
Oh, you know what? I think this is the Houston Astros. I think this is Minute Maid.
You think?
I think. Oh, it's actually Daikin now. DAIK. I think so. I could totally be wrong. I'm obviously not having a good game today, but
I went there once, but it was at night, so I wouldn't recognize these street lights outside the stadium.
All right, let's go for it. So not MLB.
man,
You may as well just humor me and give me the Colts at this point.
Let's go for the state. Just get a little hint.
All right.
Where's it? Ohio.
Ohio.
I don't know what I don't know what the Blue Jackets arena looks
No,
like.
neither do I.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the Browns. It's not the not the Cavs.
I'm sure the Buckeyes probably have a stadium.
Would
for
that
basketball.
be-
You can't
college
search like Blue Jackets Stadium. Like you need to know the name of the venue.
Yeah.
Well, you can. You just won't get the full points. But at this point, it doesn't.
Right.
Like, I wonder if it's college Like, do we think it like that could be Dayton? I mean, they host the first four there every year. I don't think it is though.
I don't know.
I don't know. Should we just try Blue Jackets?
Sure, try the Blue Jackets. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like we're doing well.
Oh, come on.
Hey, Nationwide Arena.
That's-
There we go.
It was. So that's what it looks like.
So what do we get?
Oh,
15 out of 600. Nailed it.
Not the best.
Brutal.
Crushed it.
So that's Stadium Sleuth. Different 3 questions.
Yeah. I mean, look, there are a lot. I had a buddy texting me at like 3 a.m. last night. He's playing the 20-0 NFL game. So there are a lot of these games that are captivating people. I didn't realize too until he started texting me, because I had played it, but I knew you could do offense and defense, or just offense, one side of the ball, whatever. I didn't realize that you can pick a team, that you can do 20-0 like just Patriots. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know that either. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So that was interesting. That was fun. I took one pass at it. I went 19-1, so I need to go back to it.
You'll get there.
Alrighty, I'll let you guys make the parlay.
All right. Well, listen, we're gonna have to build something out here, and there's not a lot to choose from. And Beast, if you have a favorite play tonight, you may want to weigh in. Blue Jays are up 7-0, by the way, and Cease is still pitching, still as a no-hitter, and he is through 7 2/3 at 112 pitches. You can't not let him pitch the 9th, right? Like, he's got to pitch the 9th inning if he makes it through 8. I don't care if he's at 115 pitches.
Well, especially because you have a 7-0 lead,
like
8. You can. It's not like this is a 1-0 game, and if he makes one mistake, they can tie it. You're up 7-0. So
I can't believe I wondered whether to invest in this guy today, and he's got a effing no hitter.
Just
like, that's just so classic. I don't know if I want to bet the Blue Jays today. How about they just don't allow a hit?
That's tough. That's tough. Not gonna lie to you.
Do we think MLB Network is gonna pop on some live coverage? I may have to put this thing on.
Yeah, maybe watch a little no today.
Yeah, maybe me turning it on will screw it up. But yeah, so we've got. I mean, it's MLB and it's WNBA. That's all we've got tonight, unless we have something that bleeds over into tomorrow with France or something.
I think SBJ gave out some plays that he liked tonight in the W. Courtney Williams, or maybe this was Flo, was one of them. Courtney Williams over 11.5 rebounds and assists. Kayla McBride over 2.5 threes. Gabby Williams over 20.5 PRA. And Caitlin Clark over 23.5 points and assists.
I have seen people over on Clark's points assists across the industry. I'm comfortable with that one if we wanted to have a W play just to have it.
Sure.
It was 23.5 when I invested in it earlier. Let me see if it's changed. I still see 23.5. It hasn't moved.
Okay.
So we can do Clark over 23.5 PA. Do we want to have... I mean, how do we not include the World Cup, right? Do we? Yeah. You could do France to advance. It's -400, or obviously regulation time is -175. Do we want a France regulation time? Would you want to do? You could do France over 1.5 goals. That's around -170. If you think France is going to come out and score a couple, but again, Morocco's defense is sharp. How would you like to invest in this match?
I kind of want to play a scoreless first half, honestly, to be honest with you.
I feel like that's too bold for me. I don't know if I can get there. Now let me see.
We do like France to win. I mean, if you want to go with the -175 regular time, we can do that. We could go with the Mbappe goal -125.
I'm okay with that. You want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that. Mbappe.
Let's see, goal scorer. -120 where I'm looking. All right, yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Or would you rather do -120 for him to score, or do you want to do -190 score or assist?
I think I want to do the goal.
You want to just chase the goal?
Let's just do the goal.
Let's chase the goal. Let's chase the goal. Let's live. Let's live a little bit.
Let's live.
All right, so we've got those two, and it takes us to baseball. I mean, we may as well have 2 baseball plays.
Yep. I'll go with my under. I'll go with my under in Red Sox, White Sox. I'll do that one, and then whatever you're feeling. If you want to go Tigers, A's, if you want to go Phillies, Reds, maybe something else, whatever you want.
Let's see. Red Sox under 8, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay. I think I want the Reds.
Okay.
Do we want to do maybe it's Reds first 5 though, just to limit the Phillies bats? Minus 156. It's a 10-1. Ooh. 4 legs 10-1. I'm looking at I'm on the fencing book, if you will, and it's over 23. God, Vlad Guerrero just hit a 2-run homer. Yeah, over 23 and a half points assists for Caitlin Clark. Mbappe anytime goal, including extra time, minus 120. Under 8, Red Sox, White Sox, and Reds first 5 money line, and that is plus 1031 on the blue book.
I'm good with that.
Comfortable with that. You good with that?
Let's do it.
Beast, I don't know if you'll see a better price elsewhere. I didn't shop it around. This is just where I built it.
10-1. Heck yeah.
MLB Network better jump in on this no-hitter. I want to watch this thing. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's the move. That's what I've got. I'm placing the bet now because otherwise I will forget. And not to worry, folks, it will make its way out to the socials as it always does. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. We don't have a show after us? Is nobody coming up? Nobody hanging out in the shadows?
We're the closer.
Right. Quiet Wednesday, I guess so, right? Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully it's a successful betting night for everyone. I will throw out the MLB system plays without any real analysis because you guys know how it works by now. Yesterday was a good day for the system, but every day is its own, and today is a big card, and we do have some dogs in here. These system plays include, in no particular order, the Red Sox, the Twins, the Tigers, the Royals, the Rangers, the Pirates, the Marlins, the Brewers. So independent of any screwing around I do with parlays, I am invested singularly in all of these. Red Sox, Twins, Tigers, Royals, Rangers, Pirates, Marlins, Brewers. Dylan Cease is sitting by himself in the dugout, and that is as baseball gets. Now George Springer has just hit a home run. Guys, just get out and let him get back on the mound. Like, what are you doing? Quit screwing around, adding more runs and letting him get cold. Let him stay warm and get out there for the 9th already. Stupid. 10-0.
10-0. Right. Oh, sorry, Adam. That's tough.
What's tough?
Well, you were going to bet the Blue Jays today.
I know. That's annoying. I should have one leg of a parlay down right now. That I should. But I'll bet on Dylan Cease next time out, and he'll give up 5 runs in the first 3 innings.
That's how that goes.
Yeah. All right. Well, for Beast McNeese behind the scenes, SPJ getting us started and all the work that he does here at the network anyhow. And, of course, for PJ Glasser, I am Adam Kaufman. PJ, always a pleasure, man. Looking forward to our next one together.
Likewise, Adam. Good doing the show with you, my friend. Good luck on your bets tonight, and I'll see you again soon.
Cash Allay, everybody. Check it out on the socials. This has been your Hump Day Afternoon Betspresso. We'll talk to you again next time.
What you know about rolling down in the